Hello, Chestnut Hill College, and welcome back to another episode of CHC News. I'm excited to be back for another episode. Calling all Griffins, we are 1 month away from the Griffin Networking Night. The Career Development Office and the Office of Alumni Relations are collaborating to bring together fellow Griffins in a networking format. Build your professional network and develop soft skills in a relaxed and familiar setting. Titled, The Power of Networking, Why 70% of Job Seekers Find Success Through Connections. This event is Thursday, March 12th. Doors open at 5:30 and programmed to start at 6 p.m. in St. Joseph's Hall, East Parlor. Light refreshments and free professional photos will be available. Are you thinking about completing an internship? The Career Development Office can help. What is an internship? It is a meaningful, practical, career-related work experience that introduces you to a possible career or an industry. Why complete an internship? Well, according to the National Association of Colleges and Employers, recruiters are looking for candidates that have completed an internship during their college education, ranking it the most valuable learning opportunity on a student's resume. Meet with your faculty advisor, especially to complete an internship for academic credit. Begin by talking with your faculty advisor to determine if an internship is appropriate for you at this point in your education. Search for an internship. Meet with the Career Development Office if you need more assistance. Searching Handshake, LinkedIn, and other company websites will also include Campus Philly, Parker Dewey, The Forage, InternXL, Microsoft Engage communities. And before you apply, check with your faculty advisor to make sure they approve of this internship site and experience for the academic credit. Make sure you are registered for the internship on your course listing. Once you have accepted the internship offering from the employer, email your faculty advisor to let them know and ask them to add to your internship course to discuss your schedule. Discuss paperwork needed with the faculty advisor also. Interested in joining the Chestnut Hill College cheer team? This is a reminder that there will be an interest meeting Tuesday, February 17th in Martino Hall, room 216. If you are interested, please fill out the Google form below or scan the QR code attached by the flyer and email sent by Jesse Belser. Celebrate Mardi Gras with your fellow Griffins on our Mardi Gras party and DIY mask making event. There will be jazz music, a festive lunch, and a chance to showcase your creativity in a fun atmosphere. When? Tuesday, February 17th from 11 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. Where? In the dining hall. Join Chestnut Hill College to celebrate the book launch of author Rafik Williams, a two-time alumni, bachelor's in criminal justice and master's in educational leadership of the college. Joyce Jewell, retired CHC education professor, and Anna Faye Morris, accomplished journalist, See Me Now, is a powerful exploration of identity, growth, and self-recognition. Through lived experience and collaborative storytelling, the authors reflect on the journey from who we are to where and who we are becoming, honoring the past while standing firmly in the present. The event will include and discuss the reflection from authors, book signing, and light refreshments. This event is free and open to the public. Please join us for an eventing celebration, alumni achievement, storytelling, and the power to truly be seen. When? Tuesday, February 17th from 5:30 to 7 p.m. and in the East Parlor of St. Joseph's Hall. On Wednesday, February 18th, Chestnut Hill College will recognize Ash Wednesday, the beginning of the Lenten season, with multiple opportunities for prayer, community, and the symbolic act of receiving ashes. Ash Wednesday invites us to reflect, repent, and renew in an act of preparation for Easter and Jesus' resurrection. Chestnut Hill College will hold 2 prayer services in the Carlino Chapel, open to all faculty, staff, and students who wish to receive ashes. The service will take place at 9:30 a.m. and 2 p.m. Additionally, there will be a third service at 4:45 p.m. in the Sisters of St. Joseph's Motherhood, located across the back driveway of campus. All are intended to attend. Most people likely know about the 1878 World's Fair held in Philadelphia in celebration of America's centennial anniversary. But do they know about the one held 50 years later? In an attempt to recapture the glory of its first World Fair, Philadelphia planned and hosted one to celebrate the 150th anniversary of the signing of the Declaration of Independence. Minus a few bright spots, the fair was sparsely attended, monumental disaster, ripe with corruption, racism, and greed of the heart of it. That's why many of you don't know the story of the 1926 World Fair. In his talk, Thomas Niels, author of Sesqui, Greed, Graft, and the Forgotten World Fair of 1926. We'll revisit the failures of Sesquicentennial while looking at how this year's celebration can learn from mistakes from the past. When? February 18th at 2 p.m. Where? East Parlor, St. Joseph's Hall. Chestnut Hill College recognizes that the transition into college is a time of significant change for many young adults. For neurodivergent individuals diagnosed with autism, ADHD, and other learning differences, excitement and anticipation of college is frequently coupled with a sense of nervousness about these important next steps. At CHC, we are committed to creating a narrow, inclusive environment for all. Please join us virtually for a virtual information session to have your questions answered. We will cover application and admissions into the program, college resources for success and components reimbursements, credit bearing, support opportunities, individual support opportunities, cohort events and engagement on campus, internship and employment support opportunities, CHC's vision and commitment to an affirming and inclusive campus. This event is held February 19th from 5:30 to 6:30 p.m. Mark your calendar. These events are free for students and recent grads, and you will get your resume in front of a recruiter for the list of corporate partners, including events on March 12th from 4:30 to 6 p.m., Opportunity Knocks, wisdom from recent grads on jobs and internships. Now comes the time where I am handing it to Grace for the weather. Grace?
Thank you, Jasmine, and welcome back to this week's 7-day forecast, Chestnut Hill. I'm your meteorologist, Grace Mott, and I'm back to bring you the weather for this week. Temperatures are beginning to rise, so get excited because spring is on its way. Monday, we start this cloudy week with a high of 41 and a low of 32. Tuesday, a high of 49 and a low of 32. Wednesday, another cloudy day with a high of 51 and a low of 38. Thursday, a high of 48 and a low of 37. Friday, a rainy day with a high of 47 and a low of 37. This weekend, there's a chance of snow. Saturday, we start the weekend with a high of 50 and a low of 36. And Sunday, a high of 41 and a low of 30. Continue to stay warm, everyone. Now over to Cornell with the sports.
I'm Cornell, and here's what's happening in sports. In basketball this week in the NBA was the All-Star Weekend. Philly's own VJ Edgecombe won the Rising Stars MVP, Damian Lillard won the three-point competition, and Keyshawn Johnson won the dunk contest. The Stars ended up winning the All-Star game, with Anthony Edwards winning All-Star MVP. As for Philly sports, the 76ers are 30-24 at the break, good enough for 6th in the East. As for the Phillies, they have parted ways with right fielder Nick Castellanos at the Four Seasons, and he got picked up the next day by the Padres on a one-year deal. As for the Winter Olympics, Norway leads the way in gold with 12 and total medals with 26. The U.S. has 5 gold medals and 17 in total, currently placing third. Now on to CHC Sports. February 11th, the women's basketball team clinched a playoff spot, beating Wilmington 81-40. They currently have a record of 13-11, 9-3 at home. The men's team unfortunately lost to Caldwell University 89-78. Most sports are starting this week, as softball will be playing this Saturday. It will be facing the College of Staten Island in a doubleheader. The men's lacrosse team also plays this Saturday. Their first game will be against Staten Hill University. This week, on Wednesday, the women's lacrosse team will have their first home game against the District of Columbia at Victory Field at 1 p.m. Show support to the women's lacrosse team. And back to the studio.
Thank you, Cornell, for our sports segment. Good luck to all Chestnut Hill College sports this week. Thank you for tuning in. Again, my name is Jasmine Ramirez. God bless, and have a great rest of your day. See you next week.